Welcome, Squadis. Today we're going to discuss something that's been on my mind lately. Lilibet's birthday. And honestly, this topic came up during a really interesting conversation I was having with my friends, so I thought, why not bring it here and talk about it with all of you? So first off, for those who may not know, Lilibet, also known as Lilibet Diana, is part of the British royal family. Her birthday has become one of those moments that quietly captures attention around the world. Now, when I was chatting with my friends, we started talking about how different her birthday celebrations must be compared to most people. I mean, think about it. There's the royal connection, the history behind her name, and of course the media attention that comes with it. One of my friends mentioned how her name, Lilibet itself, is actually very special. It was a nickname used by Queen Elizabeth II when she was younger. So right there, you already feel that sense of legacy and meaning attached to her. And then we got into the question, what do you think her birthdays are like? Are they big and royal with lots of tradition? Or are they more private and family-focused? Because from what we've seen, her parents seem to prefer keeping things low-key and personal. So it's interesting to imagine a birthday that balances both worlds, the royal heritage and a more normal childhood experience. And that's where I want to bring you in, Squadis. What do you think? If you were in that position, would you go all out with a huge celebration, or keep it simple with just close family and friends? Honestly, my friends were divided on this. Some said, go big, it's a royal birthday. Others were like, no way, keep it private and meaningful. And let's be real, at the end of the day, a birthday is still a birthday. Cake, laughter, maybe a few gifts. Whether you're royal or not, those little things are what really matter. So, yeah, that's what sparked today's conversation. It's not just about Lilibet's birthday, it's about how we celebrate milestones, what makes them special, and how meaning can come from both big gestures and small moments. All right, Squadis, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And definitely drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear what you think about birthday celebrations, especially in unique situations like this. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. All right, Squadis, before we go any further, I actually want to show you something real quick. So last night, I was having this exact conversation with my friends about the best kind of birthday celebration. And let me tell you, everyone had very different opinions. I even screen recorded part of it because it got that interesting. Take a look at this. Yeah, you see what I mean, right? Everyone's got their own idea of what makes a birthday special. And honestly, that's what makes this whole conversation about Lilibet's birthday even more interesting. Because at the end of the day, it really comes down to personal meaning.
Different bunch of people that are just completely sweet, So thank you so much, Birdie. I appreciate you. Hi, Kim.
Hello.
Hello, my lovely. How are you doing? Good
I'm
evening
doing
to you.
great. Haven't been here for a couple of days and glad to be back. Um, in the middle of the night, you know how we get up, we do our things. I saw that Instagram message pop in with that beautiful child's face,
Mm-hmm.
or at least her hugging her parents.
Mm.
And it made me smile. And I guarantee everyone who saw that smiled. Okay. They smiled at that image. And all I can say is that child is enjoying herself. She's in sunshine, she's in nature. Her parents have provided a gorgeous home for her. And you see them interact with their children like the average parent interacts with children. They're
Mhm.
not held to certain standards where they have to, protocols and worried about media looking at them and reporting on them. And they're shielding, Harry and Meghan are shielding their children from that because they know what's to come. They can't do that forever, but they're shielding them now.
Mhm.
Now, I have a major issue with anyone having the gall, the unmitigated gall, to tell someone what to do with their child. Okay. I don't care if Megan put that baby's face on the side of every billboard in the US. That's her prerogative. She carried that child. That's her baby. Okay. Now we know, of course, she's not going to do that, but the parents are the ones who make those decisions, not the British public and not the British media. And that pisses me off, okay, when you have these people writing as to what Megan should do with her children, insinuating that she's a bad mother when she's not, okay? I have never seen this type of focus placed on the fifth in line's wife. Harry is not even the heir, but they focus more on Harry and Meghan than they do on those two people who are called the heirs, or at least William and his wife. Harry and Meghan are held to a higher standard. The whales have they're not held to any standard. We're seeing right now where that woman, Catherine, is after 2.5 years visiting hospitals, visiting cancer research centers when she could have been doing that all along. And it's total bullshit for you to tell the public that she's been sick. She wasn't so sick that she couldn't go on trips. She couldn't take vacations. So you can stop using that excuse. Almost many people that we know, especially people who are famous and they have cancer, they use their platform to speak about. Okay. So we'll leave that there. What they're trying to do now is to catch up because too many articles have been written about the whales, about how Harry and Meghan seem to get out to very quickly to respond to public needs, to advocate, to care for other people. They don't have to do what they're doing. As I said, he's fifth in line. They're not working royals. But the people who are called working royals aren't doing what they should be doing. Instead, you're worrying about Harry and Meghan and their children instead of worrying about the people they should be focusing on. Britain's in trouble with the couple that they have right now waiting in the wings to become king and queen. They have no leadership skills. They don't take on any causes that help the people. They don't help women. They don't help men. Even if they take on a cause, it's sporadic. They're not dedicated to it, and they only seem to bring it out when they need some public recognition. Someone mentioned today that Catherine was surrounded by her communications people when she went to the Cancer Research Center. What is
Mm.
that?
He was.
Why would you do something like that? It's not. It's not genuine at all.
Oh my
Mhm.
God.
And I understand they said the father, I mean the husband of the woman she was talking to, the woman who was stricken with cancer, he looked uncomfortable. You could hear the snaps of the cameras going off all around him.
Mm.
Okay, and then from what I saw, the way she hugged her, it looked as if it didn't look genuine. It
What?
looked it didn't look genuine.
It was staged.
And this is not even a judgment. You look at them and say, why are you so standoffish with these people? If you really had cancer, you would understand this woman needs the biggest hug of all. And let me leave that and jump back to Lilibet. What I saw on X today is different than what you saw on Instagram. I'm also on Instagram. There are some hellish people on X.
Mm.
Okay. And many of them are women. You can tell they're women. It's clear to me when they see an image of Lilibet and they see that red hair and they see that lighter than was it Cafe LA, Megan's skin color, when they see the baby is almost the color of Harry, let's be honest. They want to see her face and see her features. That's what it is. They want to see the she's a quarter black, but she's still part black. Okay. And then the world knows it. And those bitches want to see how that baby looks. And I guarantee she's gorgeous. Okay.
Yes.
She's gorgeous. She will tan beautifully, and she has her mother's intelligence. They're teaching her early. Okay. They have embraced their children. They won't be left alone with nannies for the most of their time. They won't be shuffled between parents. Those kids are learning. They are learning. Okay. And they are uh who's the snorer?
Who's snoring? Uh-oh.
User 5961, you are live. Are you snoring? Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, no problem. You shouldn't be apologizing. You didn't get on live and start snoring. No. Um, no, but yeah, the bottom line is that just looking the glimpses of that child's red hair is sending people off the rails. That's what's happening. They
Mm.
want to see her face. They want to see Archie's features. They want to have something to say negative about Megan's children. Okay, I'm sick of it. And I'm telling anybody in Great Britain listening to this right now, the world is watching what you do. You all are making your entire country look racist, sexist, misogynistic. Okay? You may not believe me because I'm a black woman on social media, but I'm telling you, Americans and other people in other countries, and even many people in Great Britain, they notice what you're doing. The media, it has to be the worst. Great Britain's media is ranked near the bottom of world's media. And we see why. You have female journalists that are attacking Meghan, that are sneering on air, angry because of Meghan. Meghan has never met these women. She doesn't know them, but they don't like her. They make up stories about her. They wish they meet her. This woman, Vanessa Feltz, if I could have grabbed her through the internet, I would have. She has mocked Meghan, never met her, and my understanding is she was paired up with a black man at one time, and he left her. Okay,
Yep.
it's my understanding she had a black boyfriend who left her.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you can't resent other women because you were dumped by a black man. That's not her fault. Stop the bullshit, Vanessa Feltz. Stop all of you women in British media. I'm telling you, and we won't put up with that stuff. We won't put up with it. If you want to harass her on air, you will be harassed right back. It's not right. What's the woman, Katie Nichol, the Charlotte Griffith woman? All these women harassing the wife of the fifth in line. They've never met her. Megan's never acknowledged them, but somehow they seem to know everything she's doing. And on Entertainment Tonight, this entertainment TV and show in the States, I don't know if they still hire Katie Nichol to do any commentary for them. They call her a royal reporter. They better do something because I'm telling you, we're watching what you allow on air. Stop platforming Katie Nichol. Stop platforming this woman. She shows her face one way in America on American TV, but when she's on British TV, UK media, she is sneering. She's nasty about Meghan. She is a partner of Piers Morgan. Realize what you're platforming when you allow Katie Nichol on air. None of these people have ever met Meghan. None of them have ever seen the children, but they have all this commentary. I'm looking at the Daily Mail article today where they have the picture of, Meghan and Harry holding their little girl. The first 3 or 4 paragraphs are about the little girl. Then they zoom in on the bracelet she's wearing and saying just like mother, just like daughter. Then they start listing all the prices of Meghan's jewelry she's worn. What in the world? Who does that?
For the 3,000th time. Okay, you're
Oh, it's
mentioning
every article. It's every article. They have to fucking list Megan's clothing prices, her the same stuff over and over again. This woman had money before she ever met Harry. Okay, this woman has invested before she met Harry. Okay, Megan is surrounded by people who are wealthy, who are successful, not given the money given to them. The money hasn't been given to her. And all the false commentary about her trying to take Gary's money, what, she had her own money. She had a career. She gave up a career for love. But what you do, you're so envious of this woman. You've never met somebody in English society like this woman. You're jealous. You're envious. You're upset. And it's so ironic that many of them who are jealous of her, they somehow begin to dress like her, do their hair like her. Some even try to take on her persona.
yeah,
Strange.
I noticed that too.
Strange.
Yeah, I noticed that
Strange.
too.
Okay? I'm telling you, stop the harassment of Megan Sussex. Stop it. Stop it. You think being in Great Britain, you're far away from any type of repercussions. You're not. Stop your jealousy, stop the enviousness, and don't ever appear that, well, we care about other women. Let's be kind. When you bitches are all over the place hiding your faces behind emojis and pictures of cats, dogs, and flags, complaining about this mixed black woman in America who's doing nothing but running her life, living her life with her family, and prospering. And you hate to see that. You see that woman over there, the heir's wife, wasting away. I'm watching, her head is bigger than her waist. Yesterday I saw the pictures. Her head is bigger than her waist. And you can't tell me if anorexia nervosa is not in play. And usually you go that route when you have some emotional issues happen. Now, how would you have emotional issues when you're waited on? You don't have to work. Why would you have emotional issues when everything is given to you? You're not required to do anything but lay on your ass. Okay? So you figure that out. Leave Megan Sussex alone. This woman does not deserve it. And this is for this very reason, even though I've traveled internationally, I have yet to visit England yet, because when I retired in 2017, that was the time the world was getting to know Megan. And I'm going to all these other places, but every time I look at Great Britain, now, oh, that's a good price. That's a good plane price. Hell no, I don't want to give these people my tourist dollars. The way they treated Megan, it sounds crazy, but that's just the way I feel. I don't feel excited about going to Great Britain because of the way that society is, the way I see on TV, the way they act. And these are me. Those media personalities you have, they could not find work on TV in the U.S. They couldn't. The sneering on air when they talk about Megan, the lies, the harassment. And I keep seeing people on social media say, I don't know why they don't like her. You know damn well why. You know damn well why. You have a half black duchess just without any effort showing up everybody who's in the aristocracy, in the British aristocracy. They can't fathom that this black woman is she excels in almost everything she does. Almost everything. She's self-successful. She's beating them at every corner. That people are helping her, but you're not going to hear the names of people who are helping her. That's the way it goes. You see, that's the way it's done. You don't let everybody know what your weapons are. And I guarantee you, she has a lot of people helping her. The foolish people who feel the need to report on what they believe is the Sussex net worth, you're fools. You don't know where their pots of money are. You don't know where their investments are. You don't know what their children do in school. You don't know who their friends are. Stop trying to say that children don't have any friends. You don't know a damn thing. You see two still photos of this little girl, and yet you know every damn thing about her. Okay, we see you now attacking a 5-year-old because of her mother, not because of the father. We know if Prince Harry ran back right now, he would be welcomed with open arms.
Yeah.
But you're mad because that black American woman has his heart, and he's only flourished being married to her. Picture him how he was before he met her. Now picture him now. He's more mature than his older brother. He's one of the most mature royals in the royal family. While everybody else is shaming each other, everybody else is partying. What Prince Harry is doing, nobody else in that damn family is doing. As a matter of fact, some of them are following him after he does the good work. He's showing them the way. He's a blueprint. He's setting a blueprint now for his family because what he's doing now has not been done. But yet you're settled with that man you call an heir, emotional, no leadership skills, not very bright, not consistent. And as somebody who with an extensive background in housing, it appalls me when this man announces years ago that he wants to help solve homelessness, but hasn't built a damn building yet. Stop all the talking. Do your damn job. Do what you said you're going to do. And if you don't know how to do it, there are a lot of people in America that can give you the blueprint because we do it all the time. So I'm angry. I'm angry when I see them picking on a 5-year-old child, wanting to see how the 7-year-old son, the boy looks. Who does that? Who does that? These people are morally bankrupt and corrupt. There's no way you could get on air all the time and bitch, whine, and moan about Megan and her children. But if you want to keep on doing this, guaranteed it's going to backfire on all of you. It's going to backfire. All you're doing is showing the world how Great Britain's citizens and media are. That's all you're doing. I'm going to leave it right there, Bonnie. I might chime in some more when I get even more pissed off, I guess. But thank you for letting me get that out.
I'm so happy you did as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I'm with you, Kenny. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm with you, Kenny. Okay? I feel the same way. Okay? I'm going to calm down because, like I said, I'm just going to calm down. But I understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you, Betty. Hi, Ali. How are you?
Hey, Bonnie. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Hi. I'm awake. I'm not faded out. I hope you guys are good. Hi.
Yeah,
Oh, today's been a good day. Today's been a good day. I just want to say, is it the I can't pronounce the name, Kimmy.
Yeah, Kim.
She was fantastic. That testimony was just yes. She basically expressed what
Ali, call me
everybody's
Kim.
been
I'm
doing.
Kim. Ali, I'm Kim.
Kim.
Call me Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Anytime.
Kim.
Call me Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Okay.
That was
Thank you for what you
fantastic.
do, Ali. Thank you for what you do, Ali.
Thank you. No, today was a good day. I thought, yeah, it's just been wild. She's been people have just been covering this little girl's birthday all across the globe. Calcutta Times. I was like, what? But yeah, I don't know what to say. You know, it's testimony to the fact that there is a huge global interest in the children of Meghan and Harry, and there is no competition really. I think, especially in Lilibet, I've noticed that she, out of all the royal girls, is probably the one who's going to have the biggest sort of weight in terms of it's been placed on her because she is the one who's going to be, just by her name, the one that you know is going to be the reminder of Princess Diana and the Queen. I know a lot of the other princesses and children in the family, they all have Elizabeth as their middle name. That was the sort of tradition that you name your child. Your child has to have at least in one of their names has to be after the monarch. So everybody has Elizabeth in their name. Beatrice, Eugenie, Zara, they all have Beatrice as their middle, not Beatrice, they all have Elizabeth as their middle name. But I think that Lilibet is the one who is going to probably carry that burden, and people will recognize that. I've noticed the way that they write about her, Lilibet now, they always include a paragraph about the name and what it means. She's named after, you know, Queen Elizabeth II. They don't do that with any of the other girls. I've just noticed that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, there was a conversation earlier that they're setting her up now, the media, some kind of little fashionista influencer. I don't know. I mean, you know, if the shoe fits, you know, why not wear it?
Exactly.
She is, you know, what she wears, at least I've seen on 3 occasions, the outfits have sold out. So this is Meghan's daughter. I just hope, I'm praying that they manage to keep her as far away from the nasty media as possible. But Meghan knows as they get older, it's going to become more difficult to conceal their faces. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so I don't know what they're going to do. Well, they'll build that bridge when they need to cross it, I suppose. That's that's what I do. But no, I mean, today has been yeah, it's been a good day. It's been really nice to see the artwork that people have come up with, the videos, and I hope that Meghan and Harry get to watch some of the videos. I hope their team collects enough. JTB, Notorious, he did a beautiful one. Did you guys see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he's basically giving
I
them
might go there
advice.
and watch. Yeah.
Yeah, he's giving Meghan and Harry advice about raising a Gemini child because he's a Gemini child himself. But it's fantastic. He goes into all that. There are so many questions. Why is the sky blue? So, but he was saying it's a lovely video. I hope they get to see it. I hope they get to see it. I've got a feeling, you know what? JTB is probably going to he's going to have some kind of direct meet with Meghan. I've got a feeling.
Yeah.
It's heading that way.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know what else to add other than what Kim added, which she spoke so brilliantly. Yeah, just the nonsense, the garbage. Although today I've noticed the media have been, they've been sort of level
They've been
keeled. I don't,
respectful. I said this. They haven't
yeah,
I haven't seen any nastiness or any
no.
disparaging
They're
headlines.
not being respectful, Bonnie. They bet not. Not today. Okay, not today. I'm telling you, the more they talk about these children, and the more they, because one of the issues is that they don't want these children to be seen because they've been telling the story they're not real. They don't want you to build a connection or people to see them. Okay, that's why now they can't. They haven't been saying the kids are not real anymore. If you notice, that's what it is. They're not going to say anything today. Probably tomorrow, but not today.
I mean, I don't know. I just was expecting a couple of tomorrow. Yeah, you'll get the Januar and those idiots. So they'll stick their oar in. They always do like a follow up piece the day after. Yeah, today they've been sort of, yeah. I mean, I haven't been, I don't click on their articles, but yeah, everyone's been sort of really respectful and really sort of like, yeah, happy birthday. So
Mm.
it's been lovely. I
Mm.
noticed though that that there's been a lot of activity over here today. I noticed that Princess
I
Humble,
roll,
she
Ali.
went to a hospital, a cancer hospital, and they said it's her most emotional engagement ever.
Oh, please.
Well, there was a woman, a cancer patient.
When we're done with the tributes to Lilibet, we're going to discuss it. If Bonnie allows it.
Of
Okay,
course.
if Bonnie allows
But yes, there was a woman who had apparently just been declared cancer free. You know, they ring the bell when they say, you know, you're good to go. And so she was witnessing a woman ringing the bell, and
Mm.
they, you know, she hugged her partner, and Kate was there clapping, and yeah, that's the really emotional bit that they're talking about. I don't know. I don't know.
The bar is really low, isn't it, Ali, when it comes to that woman and how they report her? It's
No,
so
but listen,
abnormal.
listen. They're definitely listening to us
Mm.
because we have been saying where's all her work with all the. Suddenly now she's going to cancer hospital. She went to
Mm-hmm.
that cancer event the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly,
Mm-hmm. They
mm,
do listen. They're
it.
taking notes, definitely.
But see, that's the thing when I said, Bonnie, they only take out the photo op part of where to be seen, still not putting in the word. I can't take these people seriously.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's what I've got to say really. It's been a good day, and yeah, everyone's kind of been really respectful. I don't know, she was trending number one. That's what
Mm.
somebody said.
Yeah,
And I was like, wow, wow.
that is great. I
Yeah.
love what Zandy Sussex on Instagram. I love what she did. I don't know if it was her that did that, but she posted a picture, side by side picture of Princess Diana.
Yes, I saw that.
And
Yeah.
did you see how it was almost like staring at the same people? It was so uncanny, unbelievable. They look alike, even without seeing the whole face. You can see that the tip of the nose of Princess Lilibet is identical to Princess Diana's nose. It was just scary looking at both pictures. I thought, wow, the
Mm.
resemblance is there. You can see it even without seeing Princess Lilibet's whole face. You can see how much they look
That's why I
alike.
was saying to you. That's why I was saying to you. She's the one who's going to be out of
Yes,
all the royal young ladies when
absolutely.
when they
Mm-hmm.
refer or try and remember the Queen and Diana, it will be her.
Mm-hmm.
That the press and the world will look at. All
Yeah,
the others, they will just be the granddaughter. But she's got that weight
she
that
has.
through her name, through her name.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I do agree. And this is why they kind of know. That's why they're really trying their hardest
And
to
you've got to remember as well, she's got Diana's blue eyes. She's got Diana, so it's kind
hair,
of like,
everything.
it's little mini Diana,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, I always think, you know, sometimes that Dory has been left out a little bit. I always feel that.
But you know what? Yeah. You know, Miss Doria is such an amazing woman. She is exactly where she wants to be. And trust me, Ali, when I say this, she's enjoying those children.
oh no,
She
absolutely.
doesn't
Yeah,
need these media attention. She doesn't need that. That woman is exceptional. You know,
yeah.
you can tell whenever she comes, you know, in the past videos of her that I've seen, she's so demure, it's unbelievable. She doesn't need that, you know, and I'm happy that she's kind of outside of this madness. I'm
No,
happy,
yeah,
you know,
no.
I'm really, really happy. And I know that she's having a good time looking after these children and just, you know, making sure that they're okay. You know, she's doing an amazing job. I can tell. She's the
Mm.
pillar, isn't she? She's the pillar behind all of this.
Oh,
You know.
absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And those children. will grow up knowing their Black history through their grandma.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. It's
Mm-hmm.
brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Karina, you're so right. You said Mama Doria lives a peaceful and healthy life. She does. You know, she is such an incredible woman. But yeah, thank you so much, Ali. I
No
appreciate
worries.
that. Hey, Mimi, how are you? Good evening to you.
Fine. I'm fine. I was just gonna say wait until Lily turns 7 because
Oh,
they wrote they call when Archie turned 7, I think about a week later, they called this parent, family psychologist and stuff like that to say she was like Archie has reached the age of not thinking what is it called uh thinking realistically, basically, not thinking like it's the first fight. You get what I mean? Thinking realistically, that he will start asking serious questions now and stuff like that. As if a 5-year-old don't ask serious questions. um well um that um they should start bringing they did all that because they called that psychologist in because they wanted to know whether Archie will start asking about his royal lineage and stuff like that. I was like, why are you talking about this about 1 week after his birthday? Then to the to all the girls being Elizabeth, I think not Beatrice, her sister Eugenie is Victoria, not Elizabeth. So it's I think all the first girls are Elizabeth. So Beatrice's daughter, her am I echo sorry. Her, Be- Beatrice's daughter, her what is Anne's daughter's name? Zara.
yeah.
Um Lilibet. Oh,
Charlotte
even
as well.
Louise also is called Elizabeth, isn't she?
even you know Catherine Kate is called Elizabeth. Her middle name is Elizabeth.
Oh my
Is it?
God, that family.
She probably
Oh
renamed
my
herself.
God.
What about it? We know we know how that came about.
The social climbing stalking started from the cradle. My God. Jeez.
Oh
Um
my God.
um I just realized that I was like Catherine's name is Elizabeth also. um, Kate's name, oh Lord, that's saying that we should call her Catherine.
Catherine Elizabeth. Okay. Why didn't they change their surname from Middleton to maybe, I don't know, Dunfree or some name, some aristocratic name like that? Middleburn sounds a bit mediocre, if you ask me.
I anyways, so um about the us was it Us Weekly or um Newsweek Newsweekly
Mm-hmm.
New oh Newsweek, I've forgotten what it was, um that asked Megan's people about safety and stuff like that. about the safety of their children, and they basically said that she's following her ethics and showing her part of the ethics was showing not showing her children's face, basically. Oh Lord. Then right after that, he wrote the guy wrote a Jack, is it Jack Royston? Yeah, Jack Royston commented up about the picture shown today. Technically, right after that comment, he commented about the pictures shown today. Basically, I was like, that's not the point she's trying to make. Hi, Erica. Thank you. What is Bunny?
Thank you, Mimi. Have you finished your submission?
Yes.
Thank you, my lovely. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Hi, Erica. How are you? Good evening.
Oh, hello, Bonnie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Sorry about that. It is a scorcher where I'm at. It's hot.
Isn't it? Oh, wow.
It's not summer here yet, but it's feeling like summer. I've had my head down all day today at work because I have the day off tomorrow, and it's like, okay, I don't want anybody bothering me, so let me get all this stuff done. And I didn't get to see as much as I wanted to in regards, but then on my lunch break, I took a bit of a break and was just looking at the reactions. And of course, I saw the picture and, oh, this is so beautiful. I spoke to a few of the Squadis, and we talked, and I just want to let everybody know that we have reached our kaboom milestone. We raised a little over $20,000. The goal was 20,000. I think we're at something like 20,500. So thank you to everyone who donated. We just don't drag people by their wigs. We build playgrounds too. So thank you guys for doing that. And I do believe, according to Sussex Community Events, that goes on until the end of the month. So remember, no amount is too small. Let's just keep giving. We already reached our milestone, but we can always do more. So think about that going forward. And I'm just so proud of us. Really, I am. So I wanted to say that. But yeah, first of all, I didn't know Lilibet shared a birthday with so many amazing people. I mean, when I say amazing, I mean well known. She shares a birthday with Angelina Jolie and Jill Biden, our past FLOTUS. So I was like, wow, it's something in that Gemini, that Gemini pool of amazing people. And yes, I got to look at, I didn't know that Notorious was a Gemini. In fact, I don't think I've ever asked him for his birthday. That's good to know. I get along well with Geminis. They're interesting. I'll just leave it at that. But you know what I saw that did annoy me, and I said I should probably just not do this to myself because I got too much work to do. I never told you all how much I hate Hello Magazine. And my issue with Hello Magazine is that they come off like this cookie cutter, oh, we just like nice things and nice people. They are the equivalent of the whitey woman who goes up to you and goes, oh my God, is that your hair? Because it looked different yesterday.
Yes.
Like Hello Magazine is that. And it's like, oh, I can't fucking stand them. Like, go away. But they have this ridiculous headline about, oh, here's the American princess that's estranged from Charles. And it's like, fuck him. He is her day has nothing to do with that monster. Why throw him in? Why throw him into a headline with a child as if, oh, it's all Lilibet's fault that this asshole doesn't want a relationship not only with his own son, but her brother and herself. Like, stop, Hello. You did that on purpose. And it's gross. It's just, I can't stand them. It's like, okay, if you don't want to wish her a happy birthday, don't. But why throw Charles in it as if he gives a damn? He doesn't. And I couldn't believe this, but what's his face? Jobo. Even though he almost died saying it, God, that guy. I never heard somebody breathe so hard sitting down. And I'm not even joking. Like, he really needs to get some help. He was saying that, and I agree with him, even though he threw snark in with it. He's like, look, if Charles wanted to see his grandkids, he could. Who's going to tell him he can't? So just understand this is all his choice not to see them, but it's nonsense. And he almost seemed annoyed by it. Like, I don't get it. Like, you're the king. You can even sneak off on a plane in the middle of the night, go to Montecito, and no one will be none the wiser. You're just doing this out of spite. And to be honest with you, I didn't even see him bonding with Archie when Archie was in England. So it's just my opinion that he was never, ever going to be that type of grandfather, ever. So, they're not missing anything. I want people to know that those children aren't missing, like, nothing of value was lost getting their children out of Kensington Palace or just the royal grounds in general. Because in case y'all don't know, it is the ghetto. The drinking between Kate and Will, Andrew running around here with a black eye. Like, what is going on? It is giving Cabrini Green's projects over there on the royal grounds. And then you see Harry and Meghan in this beautiful picture that wasn't overly fussy. It wasn't overly choreographed. It was them at home. Like, this is their land. This is their home. That's why she's barefoot. That's why, her hair is all wild and red. And by the way, that red hair drives the Rangers crazy. They need to get over it. Literally, like, get over it. They're gingers. She has blue eyes. Even if it fades into a green as she gets older, it doesn't matter. But she is everything that they didn't think would ever come out of Meghan. And, I just don't understand their lunacy. Every time they see this, they don't even do this with Archie. They do it with Lilibet the most. And we all know why. We all know why. Because it's this insane thing about picking women apart. And it's other women who do it, So that even, I guess, goes to Lilibet too now. And I said, you know what? As much as I don't like Kate and Will, I would never go there with their kids. Never. We make little jokes here and there, but what's our jokes more like? Like, how they're going to be when they grow up. Like, who's going to marry the gay guy? Who's going to marry the black gay man? Or who's going to, be the one? Like, we joke like that, but we don't go below the belt. We're not nitpicking. We're not, and the only thing I've ever said, as I said, Kate needs to stop dyeing Charlotte's hair. I know she's at the age right now where she could probably ask for highlights. I know she's at the age right now where she could probably ask for highlights. I know she's at the age right now. Oh, that was Birdie. I guess I was echoing. But it's like, don't do that to your child's hair. Just, if it's going to be brown, let it be brown. And then if she grows up and she wants a little bit more blonde, she can do that. But we all know why they're doing that. They want that Aryan looking, kids because, we're British and we got to look like this. No, you don't have to. Brits come in brunette too, dumbass. But overall, it's been positive. I haven't seen anything terrible. I mean, unless I've just, my algorithm was just built brick by brick on positivity. I saw that Tracy gave a shout out to Lilibet. I know that killed them because, the little girl who doesn't exist looks like she exists after all, right? And it's just been a very beautiful tribute to not just, and see, this is the thing, it's not just a tribute to Lilibet, it's what Lilibet represents. Lilibet represents just them becoming a full family. Like, this is a little girl who was born here in the United States. She's not British. And she feels like home to them. And I remember them saying that. And people like, they always give more attention to Lilibet than Archie. That's not necessarily true. That's not true. But also Lilibet does represent them as a whole. It's like we got our girl, we got our boy, and we all know the circumstances of Meghan's miscarriage. But we don't know if that would have just been child number 3 or just they would have stopped there and Lilibet wouldn't have been born. Who knows, right? But the way life planned out for them, she's their rainbow baby. And rainbow babies just do something amazing. Look at Kelly. Kelly has a rainbow baby. That's her dear friend. And we know the story of Kelly. Her whole Alliance Moms or Moms Alliance is dedicated to that. So it's just I'm like, I'm so happy for Harry and Meghan that they're on the other side of all of that mess. Like, what a difference 6 years make, right? Hell, what a difference 8 years make. They are so out of the trenches. And if there's any negativity, just know that's what it's all about. It doesn't have anything to do with, oh, Meghan did this wrong and they did that wrong and the name tags on the jewelry, because they're going to do that anyway. They're going to, oh, what's she wearing? What's Lilibet wearing? What's Harry wearing? What's Archie wearing? They're going to do that anyway because they need to incentivize the clothes and the clicks and all of that nonsense. But it's also them being jealous that this is their life. Look at that, so that's my take on the situation. And yeah, they'll be okay. They'll live. It's like, everybody's birthdays is over with. The anniversaries are over with. Summer break is coming up. So now we're probably getting more of Harry and Meghan, probably quieting down as the kids are out of school. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they can squeeze in one more international trip this summer. Just one. That'd be really, really cool. Oh, and just so you guys know, I think we're going to find out who won the bid for the 2029. And I am praying it's San Diego. I want it to be San Diego so bad. Because I don't want to.
Do you know who the other countries that are shortlisted in this final selection?
South Korea and Denmark.
Yeah. South Korea, Denmark, and San Diego.
Yes, those are the three. Yep.
Okay. Oh, I think it's going to be probably Korea or San Diego. Those are the two strongest bids.
Yeah, Denmark just didn't really give a lot of muscle and oomph to me like, San Diego and Korea did. So it would be, but here's what I'm thinking, and not to veer off from the subject of Lilibet. Korea has a stigma about wounded people and people with disabilities. So I remember when I was watching Heart of Invictus, one of the players who was Korean was saying,
because they didn't want to embarrass her.
Yeah. So that's what he was saying. He's like, we just don't talk about these things here in Korea. So it'll be something really good and visible, and it's clean. Yeah, and it's clean
for the country.
I think it would definitely put them on the map for that. I don't want to say sensitivity training towards people like that, but just really show them this is what the human body is capable of doing, even when it's limited or it's at its limit. So I think that'd be great. And it's very, like, my cousin went there. She taught English there, and she's like, oh, it's so clean. She's like, it is like, She's like the train way, everything is just pristine. And she didn't have any problems there.
Germany, I was so surprised. Germany, wow, Munich.
Germany is like that? I would have never guessed.
And pick it up and eat it. It was that clean. And in the winter when we went in March, there was snow, it was a history trip. All the homeless people are allowed to sleep in the tube station. They've got like the tunnels where they heat them up so that all the homeless people around come in and sleep in the tunnels. And then in the morning, they're kind of like, shuffled out. But at least they've got somewhere warm to sleep.
Exactly.
Which I was really impressed by.
Wow. But I saw in the chat that you guys don't want it in the US unless a regime change. Well, in 2029, we will have a new president, whether it's Republican or Democrat, I don't know. But Trump will definitely be out. And this is San Diego. Be very happy that it's going to be in San Diego. I mean, I don't know what's happening with these elections. Ooh, it's looking like California might get a Republican governor. I don't know. But even they wouldn't do anything to be of detriment to Harry. Absolutely.
I think if it goes to San Diego, it will be a real morale boost for the country to have something good, something that actually is honoring their soldiers and their veterans, and it will be good for the country. It will give the country at least some kind of respectability back in terms of around the globe.
Exactly. Oh, and San Diego has its own mayor. So the mayor of San Diego, whoever it's going to be in 2029, I'm sure they will be elated about Invictus because they have events all the time there and it's not anything new. But yeah, I agree. Do I want to travel all that far? No, but you know what? It wasn't on my bucket list to go to South Korea, but I would definitely not mind going. It's something new. I guess. You know what? It's always end up like the places I really want to go, I never go. A place I didn't dream of going in a million years, I'm there. just like, wow, I'm here. What the freak? So it'll be no different. So yeah, I just want to get Birmingham over with. Let's get this shit show out the way and let's move on to 2029.
Yeah.
So that's what I got to say for now, Bonnie.
Thank you so much, Erica. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hi, Alex. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Good night, everybody.
Good night to you too. How are you? You good?
Yeah. I just kind of took a break from all media, all.
Good
It's
for
just too
you.
much. Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah.
can be overwhelming. I completely
Every time
agree.
I turn around, it's like, come on, can I just get good news in the greater scope of things?
Mm,
Um, and you don't want to be hating people 24/7 and cussing out the TV. And the things these Republicans and just the whole general vibe of America had me cussing out the TV too much. So yeah, I had to pull back.
mm,
But this was nice. I saw the picture, I I kind of traveled the road with them, seeing how they were attacked and watching the British media try to destroy not just Meghan and Harry, but their whole sense of self. And I think I've said this before. I don't know these people obviously, but I'm in awe of them. I'm proud that they were able to weather the storm and come out on the other end intact. We'll never really truly know the extent of the damage that was done, but these people have truly been through it. And I'm glad that they survived, first of all, and I'm glad that their children are in a safe place and they're good enough people to allow us a little bit of access to their happiness.
mm,
I decided a while ago that I don't buy into the British tabloids, or even if I go on Twitter, if I see negative stuff, I block them or I bypass it. I don't have time for that. Because these people I consider them a miracle. Because if an average person had gone through what Megan went through, people are killing themselves over stuff like this. And to go from having a good reputation and a good sense of self, and then having everybody attacking you 24/7, I can't even imagine what that woman went through. But she made it through, and she's a testament that you can make it through things like that. Would I want to go through that? No. But
mm,
she's a shining example that the light at the end of the tunnel is possible, for the people who can hold on. Unfortunately, in our society, there's people who can't. But seeing these pictures, seeing the life they have, I understand why the left behinds, I'll call them that, are so frantic and they mimic so much. It's quite disturbing to see. And then every time I'm watching the BBC, I'm hearing all this stuff about Andrew and the investigation, and not just Andrew, but the British politicians and the wider scope of the Epstein situation, and they're still trying to destroy Harry and Meghan. It's like the British media is just working overtime so the British people can't remotely focus on the truth that's right in front of their eyes. I think if some journalists had the gumption, the gall, the notion, any umption to really probe what's going on with Harry and the different not Harry, Andrew and the different politicians, and all that stuff around the different properties, I think the UK people would get rid of the monarchy lickety split. Because when you think about it, for as long as this Epstein stuff has been going on and Andrew has been involved, not just with the trafficking, but raping these young girls and then selling your state secrets, it's like I seriously don't understand how this man hasn't been made to pay for any of this. He's actually living in the lap of luxury, the likes of which the average UK person will never experience. I mean, Bunny, does the UK people ever like get upset that this man has done and has lived the life he's lived, hurt the people he's hurt, and there has been literally no repercussions
Yeah,
because
he
he hasn't really lost his titles.
he hasn't. A lot of people in the UK are absolutely mortified at the level of protection he's been receiving ever since this whole madness started. But the thing is, the people who are angry don't really have any power to do anything. We can only be outraged, but the people who can make the decisions are not listening to the outrage. They're not doing anything about it, and he's still being protected. He has everything. He's got the house, he's got the security, he's got everything, So you do
He's got a
wonder.
big black eye, though.
Yeah, well,
I don't know where he got that from.
that nothing compared to what he's done, Ali. A black eye is, I mean, why does he have all his legs intact?
Well,
That's
I
the
don't know,
question.
but do you remember there was a story the other week about how Andrew had kind of been confronted by some man and that they needed to beef up his security. He was out walking or something.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
Yeah,
a month
I
ago.
don't know that's what that was the full story. Maybe this guy actually, you know, attacked him for all we know. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, how long ago was that story? Was it last
Yeah,
week or the week before?
yeah.
No, that story of the man who was on the grounds, I thought that was a while back, like in April or May.
Oh, okay.
That
So
was
Maybe
yeah.
last
April.
month, I think,
April
or two
sounds about
months ago.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it was before Harry and Meghan's Australian tour. So it
Yeah,
was before that.
correct. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know what?
well,
You know what? Ayesha, you might be right. Ayesha said he probably fell off his royal horse. Who knows? Because remember, he
Yeah.
still have all the privileges, including his royal horses. So he
Her
probably fell off.
baby.
Well, they're trying to make
more
it sex,
stuff
but they're
more
trying to
stuff
write
is
the
coming
story.
out, Bonnie.
Mm,
I seriously don't know how much scrambling the royal family and the rich elite in the UK. But then I look at what we're dealing with here in the US, and they're just covering for each other, and the information is just coming out in drips and drops. But eventually, at some point, when all this stuff, and it's gonna come out, it's not going to, they've been able to hide it, but that's not going to last forever. And
mm,
guess what? If he doesn't pay for it, Beatrice and the other one and his grandkids are going to pay for it. So either way, the devil
mm.
will have his dance. But back to Harry and Meghan and their children, I wish them well. I love seeing the happiness. Um, and I hope they keep protecting their children. I don't
Mm,
think anybody should see the faces of these children. My mom didn't do that. Before all this social media nonsense, the only people that saw your birthday cards or were your family members or close friends. You do not have to share pictures of your children with millions and millions of people. I don't understand the demand, but I'm not a deranger. But
mm.
I'm not gonna say I'm not tickle pink when she does release something because it's nice. It's nice to see Harry's family and to see
Yeah,
what he fought for. And that's all I have to say. I thought it was a great thing to see this afternoon when I saw it on Twitter.
yeah.
And you,
I
and you think
I agree with you, Alex. We all like a great ending, don't we? A
Yeah,
story that ends well. And this is one of that real life story that has ended well and will continue to end well. They
yeah.
haven't we haven't seen the end of it yet, but so far, fantastic.
But you
Yeah.
know what? The other day on Twitter, this woman, I don't even know why I let her push my buttons. I really don't like her. It's an older white lady. She has this talk show.
Oh,
Vanessa. Her name is
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Yes, yes.
And she had the gentleman Tan who was on Megan's cooking show, and
Mm-hmm.
he's just giving a really nice uh, um, take on his experience and everything. And just the malice, the insinuation. What are these? Do
But
they get up every morning and drink bile? How
yes,
do you do this 24/7?
look at it this way. These are very unhappy people. And we know unhappy people like to make other people unhappy. Okay? You never met an unhappy person trying to boost up a unhappy person. No, it's misery loves company. They hate the fact that Meg, all the stories that have been put out by them. She's bossy, she's mean, she's this, she's a holy terror. And then when someone contradicts that, okay, you're scrambling to make him say something nasty because that's what you've been sold. The whole thing is the British media is the one who perpetrated this lie, the bullying lie. She made Kate cry. To have that image, that's what they've been spewing out for years. Even though people say, "Hey, that's not her." But if you have hate in your heart already, and you're racist already, and you're jealous already, you're going to attack. And for Vanessa, when she lost her marbles when they did their anniversary post, and and she was talking about the letter. Who brings a letter? Already there are penguins. Okay, who writes love you notes? I mean, that was a woman who was jealous because remember her big black boyfriend left her. Okay, and so to see a black woman being loved by a prince really grind her gears. Okay, because they need for Megan to be this horrible person so that all of this can be worth it. Okay, all the lies that they told, all the harassment that they did, you believe the story about Megan, they're justified in their behavior. And it's like that. You can't say, what is the beef? He's fifth in line. The beef is that Harry was the glue that held that family together. Plain and simple. They had already planned to make him a scapegoat, use him until, like I said, if he decided to off himself from the depression, they could have used that story for generations, just like they did with
Diana.
mom. Okay,
Yeah.
and they're pissed that he's out of that, and they're more pissed that he left with this black woman. Okay, that was never supposed to be in that position because, like I said, I don't believe that when people say, well, they want him to have an English rose, I never believed that. They wanted him alone, depressed, acting out. Okay, remember his teenage years where he was on the front pages all the time. Okay, and the stories they wrote, and they wrote those stories all the way up until he was in the military. And he still talked about the harassment even though he was in the military. Okay, so that was the plan. It did not work out. And now they are pissed because William is sitting up there saying he's going to make sure all the pubs stay in business. Okay, he's out there talking about his daughter's period. Wow. That one got me. Okay, but we know where period thing come from. Megan, remember when she went to India for to talk about periods, and schooling, how the girls had to be out of school because they didn't have locate any bathroom facility, and then he brings up periods. I'm like, why are you talking about Charlotte period? And they plastered it all around on the paper saying, William going to be having talks with Charlotte about her menstrual cycle. I said that's the kind of lunacy you get with these people. Like they come in here and they take away only the what you say about what they need to do. Like I said, go away, do the work, and get the results, and come back. What they took is, go there and take some photos of me with cancer patients so you'll believe me. That's what they took away, and that's what they did. Everything is a goddamn photo op. There's no realness to it. And I'm pissed, okay, that she used a cancer patient. And people who have cancer or have family members that have cancer. I mean, you brought the whole TV crew behind the door to televise that moment of this woman ringing the bell because she finished her cancer treatments. And you infringed on that. Okay, I don't give a damn if that woman was smiling. You should have known, the people around you should have known how personal that moment is between the person that was experiencing and the loved one that was supporting them through that. It shouldn't have been anyone else. And then they made a photo op opportunity out of that. And these are the same goddamn people, by the way, that during our Australian trip, they're talking about Megan going in with the cancer to see the kids all, lined up greeting her. And this bitch did the same thing. Okay, walking in the door just like Megan did. All these people around that were told to be there, and you can't tell me different. Okay? Because if the royal family say, get your ass down here and act like you want to see us, that's what they're going to do. Okay? But it was the same thing you criticized Megan for. And my thing is, they never take the real values from anything that we say on this platform. They only take the opportunity to show, a photo op. Okay, they said she ain't going and seeing enough cancer people. They're suspecting you don't have cancer, Kate. So you're going to have to get out there and be in cancer situation, whether you're speaking to someone in bed or entering where kids are lined up. That's what they're doing. That's why I say the fake assness of it. Okay, that these people are not interested in being good people. They just want to take these photos and go home. That's it. They want all the glory, but none of the work.
I just find the whole thing hypocritical, and I'm sorry I came in kind of late because I was getting dinner ready. But yeah, if we're talking about the outings and all of that, William hugging up on black people and black kids, it's like, and at some point, here's how I feel. If people want to be used that way, let them be used that way. Especially the black people who signed up for that and signed their kids up for that. Because no one, and I'm saying this, even if you don't have any type of charm for Harry and Meghan, you know the vitriol that woman dealt with, and you know that family did nothing to help her, but suddenly you feel comfortable putting all these black people and kids around them. And I'm just looking at these people, I'm like, I'm gonna be nice because there's kids involved. But that was straight raccoonery. And I'm gonna say it right now. It was raccoonery at its finest. And as far as Kate is concerned, 2 days in a row, yeah, she had to put on a show. Because yesterday was so what it looked like they did? Like they slapped a dress on her and pushed her in. And she was just so bewildered looking. Like out of place. Like she wasn't supposed to be there. And then when they said, oh, she was there for she was, invited last minute. I said, that explains everything. That's why she looks crazy as hell. So she had to clean herself up, look a little bit more presentable, go outside, ring the alarm with another person who actually had cancer. And that was supposed to, I guess, take the news away from Lilibet's birthday, which, by the way, you are too damn big to be in competition with a toddler. Seriously. Well, how embarrassing, right? But who cares? I said, let her go out and do her thing. Who gives a shit, right? I'm not paying attention. But Good Morning America talked about it for 1.3 seconds. And it's just like, this again? Really? This again? 1 minute she doesn't want to talk about cancer. But then she has to talk about cancer. And like we said before, the cancer is just a get out of jail card. Because they can blame anything that's wrong, her absence, the way she looks on cancer. She has a bulletproof excuse with that damn cancer. So she has to ride that crap till the wheels fall off. I don't think she wants to, but she has to.
That's the story.
I think so. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's why William, when it comes to him joining her for any cancer initiatives, I think that's why he's not involved. I think he's not involved. He's like, because when you get busted, when you and Dad get busted, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Well, I'm suspecting Charles never had.
I'm serious. Because there was something that hot mic was on again. Kate said something and somebody caught it. I said, yeah, I caught that too. She said, yeah, my family and kids she said my parents and kids were very concerned about me. I was like, girl, what about your man? Okay. I would think she would say that at some capacity, say my husband, of course, my family, husband and children, but my parents and my sister, no, she made it abundantly clear. Her parents and her kids were the only ones who, was having a really hard time with this. I was like, girl, you might want to put her back in the closet. She's talking too much. She's about to out herself.
Another thing, when you said about you were disappointed in those black people over there, I'm sorry, honey, they're not like us. Okay, they're British first, not black. Okay, you had Idris Elba been waiting for that knighthood finally did his famous veteran step, and he got his knighthood. Okay, they don't have that. It's hard to explain. Like, I view Bonnie as because the way we have communicated in all these different ethnic groups and nationalities, that I can say I feel like Bonnie understands what it is to be a black woman. Okay, that when Hub gets on here, she understands about being a black woman, because from the same way they feel about microaggressions and how they're being treated in over in the UK, it's the same way you feel about over here. Okay, but black Brits, the one that buy into being British first, don't have an understanding of blackness. So when I seen William and Charles, I mean not William, being around all these black people, these are black people that wash up whiteness anyway. And when you have those kind, that you can't really like say, oh man, I'm so disappointed in black people. No. It's not the same. It's not the same. And for them, and for someone to say, oh, see, William cool because he shook a black person's hand. He's around black people. It just shows the ignorance of what you think what black people represent. Okay, and like Kim said, they have a lot more to worry about than what fifth in line Harry is doing with his children and his family. Okay, you got a whole Nigel Farage over there trying to start a race war. Okay, and then our family up here ain't got shit to say about it. Nothing. Okay, he's out here drinking. Okay, I was talking to Miranda when we was on this live. I said, I don't know if nobody knows, but he got a little extra spring in his step these days. Okay, and I said, it's gonna come a day where Kate will be no more. Okay, but my thing is that because they're fixated on Harry, they want Harry back. Okay, so he can pick up the slack of what William is not doing. Okay, and they knew what William was incapable of this all along. That's the extra part. They knew it all along that this man would not be able to do this position. And these people are not working. We have to stop calling it work, because they are not working. They're going out doing meet and greets. That's all they're doing. And they get paid millions of dollars to perform that, because the real work would have been picking up them damn bills that this family had are struggling to pay after their treatment. People can go into millions of dollars after their cancer treatment, or while they're fighting their cancer treatment. Not 100, even with insurance, you can literally go into millions of dollars. Some medication costs some medication, I think it was some experimental medication my husband was on, cost almost $30,000 a shot. If he didn't have insurance or had partial insurance, he wouldn't have lived as long as he did. Okay, so miss me with these little photo ops and these fake ass hugs. Okay, no one's buying it. Okay, this is only for the UK. It's not for us. Now they want us to believe it. That's why they act the way they do. But it's mostly for the UK people and their media to buy into it.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I mean, just to make you guys aware, I'm sure you've seen what's happening, the reports. The UK is fast becoming like America. In fact, we are probably going to be worse than you guys in the next few years. If Nigel gets his way.
And he been invoking
it will be mayhem up here, basically. He
been invoking George Floyd's name into everything, trying to. He's trying, and even getting America. What's his name? I forgot what that. I forgot his name. But they're trying to bring U.S. media into this nonsense. What's his name? The one that used to be on Fox News and got fired. I forgot his name.
Don Lemon.
Not Don Lemon, the white one. He was a white conservative. I forgot his name. I remember later.
Lemon wasn't.
Fox, but not Don Lemon.
Sorry.
This was someone else. But they're trying to get people like Joe Rogan, these right-wing commentators to comment on that boy that was stabbed, right? And to start then saying it was about rage against whiteness, okay? Rage against white men. Okay, he invoked George Floyd's name because he said, well, y'all was paying more attention all around the world when George Floyd died. He got support. Why won't you support this white man? Okay, and invoking George Floyd name in it. And I say when I'm seeing this, I'm like, yes, he's trying to instigate. Okay, and he has more than enough willing participants. Okay, with that, that's why I say the UK, when it pops off over there, if something don't get under control, it's going to be worse than America.
Yeah, I agree. Hannah in the
I think
comment
what
section,
people
I
don't,
agree with you, Hannah.
I
Sorry,
think
go
what
ahead,
people
Annette.
don't, I think what people weren't prepared for is the calmness of Black America. Because quiet as it's kept, we've seen this before. Maybe some of us not with our own eyes, but grandparents, parents, the older generation talked about this. You crack open a history book, and all the stuff we're seeing now has played out before. This, what I'm witnessing now, and I still can't believe that I am, is history repeating itself. And I remember in history class, they would always say, if you don't know history, you're going to watch it repeat. And that's what I'm doing. And it's mind boggling to me the amount of ignorance and hate that is still instilled in a certain section of our population in other human beings. You know, they will literally destroy America and what America can and should be just for racism, the ideology of superiority when it doesn't exist, to explain the fact that they haven't achieved anything in life. How, as a society, do you think we're going to go back to after all this is said and done and played out? Because
Amen.
I'm not trying to, I find myself becoming a little more prejudiced as the days go on. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not letting this change who I am as a person. If I'm feeling that way, I just leave that area. And I have started to take a good look at the Caucasian people that are around me. Because it's frightening. It's frightening that I'm dealing with A, B, and C, and this is how you truly feel. Because people trying to make it seem like, oh, it's just them over there. No, Trump, if it's to be believed, won by a large percent of the Caucasian vote, a large percent of the Asian vote. How are you going to be in a society with me and tell me that you're okay with me having less than you because I have more melanin in my skin? You're okay with me crying over my child because the police can do whatever they want to because I don't deserve the same rights and protections as you do? I don't deserve my shot at the American dream? Listen, I have had a serious awakening in terms of race relations. I'm not sure what I bought into, but I kind of thought we were beyond this. You would see pockets of racism, but
You know
nothing
what?
on this scope. Obama, when Obama won, it came out and it came out in such a blinding wave. I was taken aback by it. But the level of callousness with Trump, not once but twice, I have no sympathy for
Yeah,
anybody
that,
else. I
that,
only care about Black folks and where we gonna go from
yeah.
this. I am glad that we are holding ourselves in check, because sometimes you gotta let people suffer. Sometimes you gotta let people burn.
You
What
know
we
what
need
they
to do is make sure when the eye is turned on us, we're in a position to protect ourselves. That's my take.
and you know they be you're absolutely right, Alex. Okay, like for me, because I'm probably older than you guys, I'm like in my 60s. Okay, I didn't seen all of it. Okay, and my mother, she told me stories of their behavior. They have a psychiatric problem. They really do. They are mentally ill. And what you're seeing with this election is people's true colors. And sometimes when you see somebody's true colors for the first time, you're taken aback that so many people can be so hateful for no reason. But that you feel like somebody shouldn't be in that spot. You feel worthless because someone of another complexion, especially a Black person, is doing more better than you or smarter than you. And my thing is that now you see it. And what I said before, like for white people, we exist in our brain 24/7. Okay, we are always in their head. We don't think about white people like that. Okay, and for them, it's all hatred and jealousy and envy, or thinking you beneath them. Okay, it's all this nonsense, and they thought we was going to go out in those streets and act a fool because one thing black people are known for is protesting. Okay, they thought that, and when it didn't happen, they started doing a nitpick by taking all the DEI programs away, changing the affirmative action. All these things is to make you mad enough to get on the street. When you hear about the situation of somebody being, swinging from a tree, or if you find out that what happened to that little boy that was in the store buying that water from that Asian. You can't trust any of them. Okay. And you think that they want to get you angry enough that you go out in those streets, because that's what was promised to them too with this election, that you was going to be out in those streets protesting so they can use tear gas, bats, dogs, water hose. They thought they were going to have the ultimate fantasy, and it's not going to happen. Okay, and like I say, this is a situation where, yes, I hope your racism is worth it. Okay, because not a lot of people are going to make it through. Make no mistake about that. Okay, but as far as black people, I'm like Alex. I'm only worrying about black people, and not worthless and no coons. Okay, I'm not worrying about what these people who black people that uphold white supremacy, or these Asian that uphold white supremacy. Okay, we have came to everybody else's rescue 100 times too many. Okay, now let everybody fall, because without black support, nothing works. Okay, we the one that built this country. Well, we the one that culturally run this country. So you want all this nonsense to stop? Start acting right. And if they don't, that's fine too. Just leave
Well,
us the hell
too,
alone.
the thing too is, Bertie, and I think, and we talked about these blackouts before, and we talked about it before this poor kid lost his life over freaking water. And this sick, twisted toy that's in China right now where you can
Yeah.
use a black doll as a stress toy. And even this weird kink that they have about, the Chinese people who are over in Africa, because there's, from what I was told, and I don't know how true it is, I don't know if it's Nigeria or not, but a sizable number of Chinese people are now living there, impregnating the women and just abandoning them and just doing sick, twisted stuff with the kids.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I'm so tired of this world. Like, I'm just ready for whatever meteor, higher being to come and start over from scratch. But we need to be a lot, because here's the thing, and this is another reason why they don't like the type of clientele Meghan has, because black people have purchasing power. They just do. It's not that white people or Hispanics or other Asians don't buy things, but what we consistently are, we're loyal. Our dollar is loyal. That's the best way I can explain it to you. We were loyal to Target until that nonsense started, and look what happened to them. And so we just got to get back to the minimum. And I told another person this, who was complaining about a black-owned beauty supply store, because they're very, very rare. They were complaining about the prices. And I had to explain to them in the comment section, they're not getting the bulk discount prices like the Asians are. They're charging them top dollar. So they have to charge what they're charging. It's freaking worth it. It's freaking worth it to help this black business out, to pay just a little bit more. And what was I don't know if it was Korean and Vietnamese, I'm not 100% sure, down the street. Oh, we're lower than that. We're cheaper than that. And we'll throw in some samples. And everybody went running to that one. So, we got to stand on business. It's like, look, I'm not a racist. You all know this. But my thing is this. I'm not going to keep allowing people to do this to me and to us. And anyone who's an ally, who's Asian or Hispanic or Latino or whatever, non-black, let's just say that, better understand it. If they can't understand it, then go away. Because guess what? If you were on the receiving end of this, I would support you and can say, hey, your community got to do what you got to do. Just like when C-19 was going on and all these Asian people were getting assaulted, I said, hey, Do what y'all got to do. You guys are being targeted. I'm standing out the way. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But then they'll get things signed over a hell of a lot quicker than we will. And it's like, what the hell are we doing wrong? Are we doing something wrong, or they're just not listening to us? Which one is it?
I'm gonna tell you which one it is, Erica. When you ask for equal rights, they don't give you what you want. They always give you something else, just like the holiday, Juneteenth. You never ask for Juneteenth. You ask for the police to stop beating on you. Okay, to treat you as a human being if you're being arrested. Just tell me what I did, officer, and go on about your business. Not shoot me dead, okay, on camera, and then they get to walk away. What it is that for them, they expect everybody, black people, to fight for them. When all that COVID-19 was going on, they wanted black people to come and fight for them and use their black forces. And what happened? They got a bill that said stop Asian hate. My thing is that we have fought for everyone else so much that, civil rights benefited everyone. If it would probably just benefited us, we probably would have been further along. But it helped everyone, disabled, white women. It helps everyone. And now it's time to stop that nonsense. There is no equal, okay? There is no situation where these people are going to do the right thing. What it is they're going to have to be put in the same situation. Okay, like I say, I understand racism is strong, but like I say, with them taking away all these subsidies that depend on your life, like that boy that died, that's because he couldn't pay $800 for insulin when it was originally $80. Okay, when your family members are being put out that nursing home and telling you, oh, you're going to have to take care of them, and we're not going to help you with any kind of government funding to take care of them. Okay, all those things is what racism is going to get them. Okay, but I'm not putting my time and effort into rescuing nobody, okay, that isn't black. Okay, I have nothing to say about what happened to some white girl that goes missing. Okay, but you don't give a damn about black kids missing every damn day. Okay, it's I never had any loyalty to whiteness, so I'm good with that. But yeah, I don't want to hear anybody that support Asian hair salons, nails, all of that. And anyone that visits those places says a lot about who you are, that you got a lot of self-hate going on within inside yourself, that you would still frequent a place that don't want you there. Okay, I'm not gonna spend my money on somebody don't if they don't think I should be there. Like that a rapper that went in that Louis Vuitton store and they was escorting him out, and then he got on social media saying, flashing all the money. I got all this money and Louis Vuitton won't let me in. And people are like, don't buy from Louis Vuitton. You know what happened? Louis Vuitton seen that money stack that he had and said, come on back in. You know what he went in and did? Bought something. I ain't got time for people like that. Okay, I don't have time. You'll take the insult and then go back in there after the insult. I'm not dealing with those kind of people anymore. Okay, so like I say, I don't have time for any of this lunacy that's going on with this president. The way to survive this is good. To go and ask your grandmother if she's still alive, your mother who is in her 60s and 70s, they will tell you how to survive this. Okay, surviving this is going to be a lot like COVID.
What's going to happen with Black America is we're going to end up segregating ourselves. I see a lot of it. I see Black America building our own communities and living more amongst each other in the future.
Yep.
I know Martin taught about, was he leading us into a burning house? And it didn't seem like that. But integration, I don't think, was what they were trying to get at the time. They just wanted us to have access to the benefits of America because we were paying taxes. We should have access to the benefits of America. But this has been a wake-up call, and I don't see how we go back to the same old after this passes. I think America is going into a new phase, and it's going to be interesting to see. I'm curious what it's going to turn into, especially for the young people, because I have my own family, and yeah,
For the young
that's my
people,
take.
yeah, for the young people, I hope for them is that they get education. Okay, first of all. Second of all, no children. Please, for God's sake, if you're a young person, don't have any kids because the kids are going to be born into struggle if you are not financially secure. And when I say financially secure, I ain't talking about a couple of grand in the bank. Okay, where this child can be raised, okay, where they don't have to worry about being seen by a doctor because you have excellent insurance, because we know where insurance is going, okay, that these kids now have to be taught about the way the system works, how government works, okay, open up the history books for God's sake. Okay, but it's going to be a time where people are going to be online giving Black history lessons, because Black history is what? American history. Something they're not teaching in the schools anymore, or never really taught in the schools. And once you start developing these kids' mind to love themselves, love your Blackness, no one can touch that. Okay, it disappoints me when I hear anyone say that they hate themselves because they're Black. What? Oh, you're insane. Okay, it's crazy, but that's what white supremacy has done. It have made a lot of Black people dislike themselves, and they're going to have to really look within inside themselves to find their Blackness if they feel that they don't have it, because it is being Black is an experience. It really is. I would never change being Black, never ever. Hello?
Oh,
Did everything? Oh, I thought something happened to my mic.
we went into a pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting what you're saying, Birdie, because that self-loathing also applies to Asians,
Yep.
especially in this country.
Yes.
I think we've got a lot of confused Asians who are running in political parties that are Nazi fascists.
Yeah.
Their
It's weird.
their
It's
immigration policies basically will have their families, because they come from immigrants themselves. They'll have their families all thrown out, and they're quite happy with it. But I was looking at Vivek Ramaswamy, and apparently he's now complained that he's getting racist abuse left, right, and center from Republicans. That his children are being racially abused on social media. So, but this is the same man who said he doesn't believe that racism exists in America.
yeah, yeah. But for the other minorities that uphold whiteness, like Asians do, and the Latino, they voted for Trump. They feel the same way about
Yeah.
Black people, and that's a seed they planted a long time ago to have Black people down at the bottom. And what we're experiencing now is more of like I say, the drops in, getting rid of DEI, affirmative action. It's
No, but
all.
he especially Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't know if you remember. He did a Zoom interview with Ann Coulter. You know Ann Coulter,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Republican
Oh, yeah.
skeletal little racist. Oh, she's
Yes,
vile.
yes,
And she basically, in his face, told him, "Well, if you were to run for president, I mean, I would never vote for you because you're Indian.
yes.
You know that." And his face, this is supposed to be his team member. She's a Republican as well. But she told him in his face, "I will never vote for you because you're an Indian."
Yeah.
And
They,
I'm just like, how many times do you need to be told?
they'll be
Was
told
that
a
not the first
million
sign for
times.
you to
They
sort of
have to.
go,
they have this illusion that because of how they treat black people and the stories that they have been told, just like a lot of immigrants who've been told when they get over here that don't stay away from them black people. They're drug addicts, okay? They're criminals. All of this it has been told to them, and they have said it themselves. And by them saying, being indoctrinated into that and believing it, okay, is one of the main issues, okay? And so when you come over here as a black immigrant from the diaspora, you have to know black history, okay? You have to delve into that because one day it's going to affect you. But a lot of immigrants didn't believe that. They didn't have an understanding, so they bought into what the white man said. And so when they got here, it's like, yeah, blame everything. Every woes is on black people. Everything is black people's fault. The sky is falling, it's black people's fault. Okay, the plague is coming, it's black people's fault. Everything is black people's fault. How can such a small percentage hold so much goddamn power? Okay, it's not about the fact that it's not about us. It's them doing all these criminal things. But what minority is they throwing up in front of everything even now? Black people. And they have the help of those immigrants because they're stupid. Okay, they're stupid enough to believe something about someone without having any facts. That's all these people have to do is research the facts. But because whiteness is what they want to be close to, even though it really doesn't get you what you want, okay, you'll never be in that club. Okay, you had that white Latino police officer saying all those disparaging things about black people and how her squadron, they be talking all this smack about black people, saying all these disparaging things, making fun. And she got in her car and publicized that only for a white woman to get on and say, you got what you deserve. Okay, you did all that, and we never going to accept you. But they will continue fighting for those crumbs because at least they're not black. Okay, at least they don't have to worry about being black. You could only wish to be black. Okay, but that's one of the things that's happening now. And like you said, it really is time for black people to focus on black people. I see a lot of communities happening. Family needs to go back to buying houses together. You can buy for a family, live in a flat. Okay, each one can have their different apartments. You got to get back to community. You still got to start buying whole blocks out where black people are living. Okay, you're going to have to start doing those things because you have no friends. Black people don't have any allies. Have to accept it. Now, I never bought into that foolishness anyway, but black people don't have any allies. It's just us, and we have to watch it with some of us. Okay, but that's where we're heading at now, and that's fine. I'm actually fine with that. I just want white people to stay out of black business. That's all I want.
Can I chime in here real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bertie, you are
I know.
100% correct. Everything you're saying, and I'm so blessed that I've seen the difference. I've been on both sides. And Bertie, you've mentioned your age before, and I'm 3 months from 60. I'm like all the other greats that are turning 60 this year. I've seen before, and I see how it is now. But unfortunately, the current and the last two generations were born into a world where they may not have seen the racism coming up. Many of them are getting slapped in the face with it as they become adults and they go into the workplace. And they're seeing it on TV. There's a naivety right there, especially with Generation Z. And I'm sure it's going to be Gen Alpha too. They haven't seen the worst. They were born in a world where they have not seen the worst. Now they're seeing the worst and they don't know how to handle it. They don't understand it. And that's what I fear. It goes across the board, even in people saying, "Well, we want we want younger people in office." We do, but number one, I want experienced people in office. It does no good to put somebody 25, 30, 40 in office. They don't know a damn thing about legislative processes, the executive branch, the judicial branch. And many of those younger politicians, as they start running, they have one idea, but you see when they get to office, they change because they say, wait a minute, I didn't know it was this complex. And that goes for everything in this world. They didn't know it was more complex until they are actually faced with what's happening. You're now on the inside looking at everything. You're not on the outside looking in. That Vivek Ramaswamy, unfortunately, he's from a culture that they're darker than many black people. But for some reason, they believe that they are better than black people. I worked, one of my supervisors was from the same culture. And I didn't know he had some type of issue before he came to work in the city government where I worked. I was actually asked by a new mayor's representative, and they actually asked me, are you okay? Yeah. Are you sure you're okay? Sure, no problem. Apparently, this man had a history of discriminating based upon sex. I was the only woman in that particular government position. I was in a high level management position, and I was the only woman. And to top it off, I was black. I am black, so I had a double whammy: black and woman. But the way I came up, you're not going to do me wrong. I'm fully prepared to go past whoever I need to go to. I've done that before, and I'll do it for the rest of my life. If I see that you want to give me problems, I'm not going to shy away and let it happen and think, well, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. Damn that. You need to take action and you go above those people. You go above them. You sing out what's happening to you. You tell people what's happening and they back off because it's amazing. People don't want to be classified as racist when they are racist as hell. We see it all over. We're not racist. Yes, hell yes, you are. Everything you do in your life is racism. That's all you know. You don't want any other people to get ahead. When you see black people prospering, you're angry. You want to keep them at the bottom of the ladder. That's all you were taught that. They were taught coming up that you're better, they're better. White people are better than everybody else. Black people are at the bottom. That's the way the world has been, unfortunately. And it's real. It's not being negative. It's being realistic. This is what we're all getting hit in the face daily by what we see in our countries, by what we see in our culture, and all of these black politicians who are Republicans who are thinking, "Oh yeah, they're going to love me. All I have to do is agree." No, they're going to get you also. You're being used.
Yeah.
I see what it said. Kimmy was it? Is it Badenoch? Kimmy, Kemi, over in England.
Yeah,
Politician, black woman.
Kemi
I
Bam.
listen to her. I'm like, this woman here, she is so. You know what? They're going to get her. They are going to get her. She's going to bow and scrape as much as she wants to. They are still not going to accept her.
Yeah. And she
Okay.
been trying. And that's my thing. It's like for this younger generation, the only thing that's going to set them free is one, uh, no children. Okay, I can't stress that enough. And their education. Okay, and taking care of their mental health. And they're going to have to find ways, and hopefully most of them, hopefully their parents will help in that being assisted. I don't know. Hopefully their parents understand the gravity of it. My thing is like the way this world is so wacky to backy. It is unbelievable that not the racism. That's not what surprised me. The racism doesn't shock me at all. It's the stupidity that's coming along with it. It's so much stupidity that these people were trying to get Spencer Pratt, a reality show person, to be the mayor of LA. Okay, it's the lack of education that these people don't understand that voting has consequences. And it just doesn't, it's not a game. Like they treated voting for Trump like a game, some of them. Okay, like something to do, like it wouldn't be any consequences from it. And now we're sitting up here in a very divided world. Okay, and to me, it's like Black people are getting the brunt of it because we've always been the scapegoat for everybody else's failures. And so they attack us to take away from their failures. Okay, what one thing during this time that black people did was step away. Okay, not being involved marching, not being involved with going out there talking about everything, keeping things to themselves. That's what needs to be done. Okay, it's got to be a thing where you realize none of this is Black people's fault. Okay, any self-hating Black that's out there, anybody racial Black, anybody from the diaspora, it's not your fault. Their hatred has nothing to do with who you are as an individual. It's them in their mind. They're sick. Okay, they really are. They're doing tests on these people's brain who are racist, and it's coming back that something is wrong. That it's not normal to feel that way about a human being. How can I hate someone?
It's a mental illness, Birdie. That's just what it is. Racism is a mental illness.
I might have
and it's passed on generation and listen, I remember in school when we were taught the civil rights, all that stuff, we were told, oh, it's ended. This is something you won't have to worry about again. But it hasn't. It was passed on to the next generation. And they continue, it's just being passed on.
Alex, can you tell me who your teacher who taught you that? What is her racial background?
I grew up in the Virgin Islands. We're a predominantly Black island, and we were taught Virgin Island history, world history, and American history. And when we looked over the civil rights movement, obviously you're taught Malcolm, you're taught Martin, the women who actually started it that never really get any credit. And it was broken down for me that racism is a mental illness. And that phrase always stuck with me. And then as I went and I read more Black authors, oh God, I can't remember her name.
I agree that it's a mental illness, but did any of your teachers tell you that racism had ended in the U.S.?
No, the notion of how it came about was supposed to have ended, and we were supposed to move into this post-racial world. That's what I was told coming up as a kid. That this is the world
you
we're
understand.
living in.
I live in the South in the U.S.
Okay.
I'm born and raised in the South, and in several generations in the South. My father comes from Georgia. Most of my family comes from southwestern Georgia. So my family goes back into the 1700s, even through slavery in Georgia. And my father came to Florida back in the 50s. So this stuff has been it's been passed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, can we just get Neka and Rachel? Rachel, just
I'm sorry,
wait.
Bonnie. I know we're talking gloom and doom. I apologize.
No worries at all. I just want to make sure that the new people get a chance as well to chime in.
Yes.
And then we can carry on. I am enjoying that conversation. But let me just quickly welcome Neka and Rachel on to the panel. Neka, how are you, my dear? Good evening or good morning to you. Neka, are you there? Hello? Okay, we're going to move on to Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Neka can chime in when she's good and ready. Hi, Rachel. How are you?
Oh, hi. How are you?
You're up again. You're making this a habit now. You and your dog.
No, do you know what I am? Oh, sorry.
What's
Buddy,
the dog called?
Buddy, stop. Buddy. He's called Buddy.
Buddy. Buddy.
Yeah. Buddy.
Buddy's a busybody. He's always talking when you're talking.
And do you know what's lovely about him? He's not race related.
Oh,
his brother Buster is black. He's brown, and I've got a white Jack Russell.
Oh, you've got
if we could only be like them.
Do
you know what? I was listening to you all last night when I was decorating the cupboards, wasn't I? So I've come back on. You were so nice to talk to, and you know, I just saw that it's like the happy birthday Lilibet, our dream girl too, let's discuss. So I always look at the subject matter and I just thought, do you know what's making me really sad? Like just the whole division. So yeah, I think I spoke to you the other night. Originally I've got an English passport and an Irish passport. Also my brother's children. So my grandmother was from Jamaica, passed down to one of my sisters, not to my mum. Sorry. So my mum is an Irish white woman, apparently, and her sister is an Irish black woman. So all I'm saying is where it all gets lost in translation is, you know, sometimes when I've been also in the black community with my cousins, they're just like, you don't get it, Rachel, you don't get it. And I'm like, perhaps I don't, but I do, because I've been around it my whole life. I've been around it. And I find it like really tragic at the minute that there's more divide and conquer. That's all they want, divide and conquer. I've never seen so much, you know, when I moved from Ireland in the 70s, I think I was the only Irish young girl and there was a young girl, Diana. We can't remember each other, but I think she was the only black girl in the class and I was the only Irish girl in the class. It was sad at those times. 20 years later, it moved forward. My son, who is born in England, and everybody goes, well, he can't be Irish because he's got really brown skin. And clearly doesn't need, because he's got genetics also from his grandmother. So all I'm saying though is, you know, when we keep discussing split and divide, we kind of all need to remember that we're human. Of course, racism exists. Of course it does. We've all seen it. We know it. It happened to, you know, when my family moved over, it was...
Sorry, let me stop you there for a minute.
Sorry.
Rachel. You just said when we keep discussing differences or something, divide, you know, it's not good. Are you saying that?
No, I didn't say it like that. No,
Well,
no.
I'm paraphrasing you. I can't remember word for
No.
word how you said it.
What I did say is if we keep creating division.
Oh, I thought you said discussing division rather than creating division.
Creating, that's what I meant. I think every government across the world, if we bring it back to the Romans, they love divide and conquer. Divide and conquer.
One second. Let's actually unpack what you just said about when you keep creating division. Are you actually referring to us or are you referring to the people who are actually creating the division? Because
do you know, I'm referring to all of us.
Well, we're not part of that creating division. We don't create it. All we are doing is highlighting what's going on. No, and we can't be in the same umbrella as creating division.
No, but you've put celebrating Princess Lilibet, our dream girl. Let's discuss.
Yes.
Why is she your dream girl?
Oh, Rachel. I was actually going to pull you up on the fact that you did not wish this little girl happy birthday.
Of course I do.
Right in. I didn't see it. Where did you do it? Where did you wish her happy birthday? When?
Well, I didn't hear anybody else wishing her happy birthday. I just wanted to say, I think it's a quite destructive question because
no, hang on. No,
because I don't think this is about Lilibet, is it?
It is about Lilibet. We are celebrating Lilibet. Lilibet turned 5 today or yesterday, 4th of June. We are celebrating this little girl. And if you know anything about this platform, you know we don't always discuss topic in silo. We go wherever the wind takes us. And that's what's so unique about our platform.
And that's what I love, because I've taken the wind somewhere else, haven't I?
Can I ask you a question, please? Let's step back a bit.
Of course.
You said
you can ask me anything you'd like.
Why are we saying she's our dream girl? Is that what you asked? Or did I get that wrong?
No, you go on. That's your narrative that you picked up. Go on.
I didn't pick. I'm asking. Did I get it wrong? Yes or no?
No, I didn't say. Oh
So
God,
what did you say?
you're
Just
trying to
correct
trip
me.
me. You're trying to trip me up.
I'm not. I'm asking questions. All you got to do is
Yeah,
clarify.
sure. I just said, yeah, it's great. It's great.
That what? Great.
Great that she's got a 5th birthday. Absolutely fantastic. And then, but also don't forget the caveat at the end. You put "let's discuss."
I
So all I'm
always
doing is
put let's
discussing it.
discuss.
So I've just put. So I'm just discussing it. So I don't know what problem I've created.
I never said you created any problem. I'm asking questions. I'm asking because I want clarity.
Yeah, but
What you can do for me, rather than being defensive, will be to clarify and help me understand. That's the whole point of my questioning. I'm not questioning you to trip you up, unless you have another agenda.
But my questioning isn't. It's about your questions, and I just said I find it really difficult to see that it's just kind of right. Celebrating Princess Lilibet, our dream girl 2. What do you mean 2? Let's discuss. I just said, so what I was trying to clarify was, I find it just, there's a hidden narrative, and I think the world is getting scarier.
Let me clarify. Let me put you on straight. The reason why I put our dream girl 2 was what her mother, Princess Meghan, put on her Instagram caption. She said, our dream girl. Me, as a squaddy, and this platform being a squaddy platform, I'm saying us as a collective of squaddies, we also think she's our dream girl. Does that make sense? It's a play on word, a play on sentence, if you like.
But sometimes it's great if you know the full story. So if I know if it's squaddies,
if you had come here and asked nicely,
if it's a squaddies platform, but you're not going to get every person come on here and understand the whole conversation that's been had, are you?
Absolutely. This is what we do, my darling. We are here to explain if you really want to be.
Oh my God, look, someone's put up, is she aware that Princess Elizabeth is mixed race? Of course I am. That's my whole... Look, people are putting this in your comments. So if we can't have a direct conversation...
Rachel, we're gonna put a stop to this and we're gonna move on, because this is kind of derailing what we're doing here, and I don't like it.
Right,
it doesn't always look
What was
good.
it I was meant to be talking about? What is it you'd like to hear?
No, I don't have any preference. Whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's respectful, you're not here to cause any kind of, aggro or distract us from what we're trying to do here.
Somebody's put yesterday she was talking about she was decorating a kitchen. I think this is actually a very racist channel. Very racist. And I think you need to be very careful with your words on here.
No, I want you to talk.
I had to take her off. You guys have to understand, some of these people are not well. I thought Rachel was well. It's quite obvious, Rachel, you're not well. There's something fundamentally wrong with you. It's quite obvious. You came here and you wanted to fight everybody. I saw you in the comment section shouting, oh, let me talk. I brought you up because you requested. And this is how you want to derail what we're doing here. Rachel, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. We are here celebrating a little girl. If you had any sense in you, if you had any empathy, if you were human and you are all right in the head, the first thing you should have done is to wish a little girl, she's only 5 years, wish her happy birthday. You didn't. You jumped on here, you wanted to attack, you were defensive, you were just rude. And I really thought you were a reasonable person, and I'm wrong. I'm sorry I got you wrong, Rachel. I really am, because I thought you were reasonable. Look at the way you're very defensive. You're trying to cause a fight. You're trying to derail what we're doing here. Our dream girl, how is that a problem? How should that make you feel away? You did not wish the little girl happy birthday. You didn't say anything positive. You jumped in and decided to be negative and want to derail what we're doing here. I'm telling you, devil, you need to go behind me. Not on this platform. If you come here and you think you can destroy what we're trying to build here, you've got another thing coming. I won't let you. you need to go behind me. All you devil people come here with your nonsense. You think you can destroy what we're doing here. You don't know what you're doing.
That's
Just get the hell out.
Can I talk
You-
about what that statement she made that,
It sounds very
it's a
paranoid.
racist channel? Because here's the thing, people like to lob that word at black people. We cannot be racist in this country. What we can be is prejudice, but then everybody is prejudiced.
Well,
We do not have the social or the political power to enforce our prejudice. We cannot be racist.
We
And
want it
neither
to be
can the black
so
people in the
bad.
UK be
but that's not
racist.
even the point. The point is she came here very, very aggressive. We are discussing Lilibet's birthday. Yes, granted, we always veer off to different topics. And why not? For her to come here and
Bonnie, she had
accuse
an
us of
agenda.
creating racism
I was
or creating
listening to her. She
division.
had an agenda.
That's what I'm saying. For her to come up here and accuse us of creating division, I'm like, what?
She's the one that it's like literally. I just heard like when I heard, I was like, the first thing I heard was her own paranoia saying, "Oh, it sounds like what she said. She sounds like there's a hidden agenda, a hidden agenda in what?" And then she turned around and said, "The world is turning into a scary place." You need to stop reading the Daily Mail and the Sun and all of those things. If you're still here, Rachel, you just need to stop reading that because at the end of the day. The world, is there a lot going on in the world? Yes, there is a lot going on in the world. But if you want to talk about racism, it's you that's causing it. It's you.
But
People like
the
you.
funny thing is, right?
And-
Let me just say this, and I'm telling this to Rachel. I know that Rachel is still in the comment section, mouthing off. Rachel, the funny thing is, when you see the reformers, you see Nigel Farage and his gang, you won't have the same energy. You will keep mute because you deep down enjoy what they're doing. You like what they're doing. You're angry at us because we are pointing it out and we are pushing back. That's where the anger lies for you. You're not angry at the division because if you were angry at the division, you'll be going to them and you'll be showing them that energy, not to us. We're just discussing what we see happening. What is wrong with that, Rachel? What is wrong with that?
And also as well, and also when you also said, about the hidden agenda thing, it's like, are you not aware that Princess Lilibet is mixed race? She's not white, she's mixed race. So even if what's being said here, our dream girl too, as in, oh, we want to celebrate her too within the black community. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Within the black community. Let me
or
correct that.
Or just in general. I think that's what she was also trying to hint at. You know what I mean? It's just she's mixed race.
Listen,
you know what I mean? It's just
her birthday and what I wrote has nothing to do with race. I was just borrowing the words her mother used on Instagram. If you guys go back, she said our dream girl, as in their family, her and Prince Harry's dream girl. I'm saying she's also Squadis' dream girl. That's all this is. I don't know why this is an issue. It shouldn't be an issue.
And then you're talking about Meghan's kitchen and stuff like that. I think you need to focus on your own kitchen. I don't think you can even afford her kitchen. Why are you watching?
Can't even afford the pan in her kitchen.
It's exactly. It's just. We as Squaddies don't really understand. If you don't like Meghan, stop watching her. Don't look at pictures. Don't even flick through the newspapers to go and try and find what's going on. Just get on with your life. It's very simple. She's not searching for you. You know what I mean? You're the one searching for her, but she's not searching for you. And the fact that you're meant to be Irish, that doesn't make any sense. The Irish, have history with the English. So I'm very, very confused here. I'm very, very confused.
Melissa,
I'm not surprised by her racism. I don't think. Have you ever been to Boston? That's nothing but Irish people. And they are some of the most racist people ever, even though they come from the history they come from. Her being Irish means nothing to me.
And also when it comes to it's just yeah it's just these people I really don't understand. It's like
They want to be
this
victims so
And
bad,
you never
Melissa.
will, Melissa.
exactly
So stop
But listen,
wasting your
you
energy.
can't figure
I
out
true
think
something.
that's where a lot of the fatigue, especially among Black America, comes from.
yeah
I'm tired of trying to understand. I don't want to think like you. I don't want to feel like you. You
mm.
keep you over there, and I'll keep me in my lane.
Some
I
of them
just
want
don't want you touching me in any type of violence or any of the other nonsense you like to do.
you know
That's
when they
over with
come,
as far as I'm
you
concerned.
know what?
I'm
When they come
I'm
up and say
go on.
that they you guys are being divided, what they're saying is we don't care about your feeling. Just stop
Thank
saying it.
you.
We don't want to
Thank
hear it.
you.
Okay, they want to be victims so bad. Okay, they want to act like racism is not an issue, so they can continue on being racist. And when they get up on Bonnie platform spewing this kind of nonsense, it is to derail Bonnie platform and to get oh well I think this. Nobody gives a damn what you think first of all. Okay, but
Birdie,
it's
her reaction is the reaction that we see from people who don't like for black people to call out issues.
Yeah.
They become victims. Oh, you're racist. That's why I put in the comments, you need to look up the definition of racism. Okay. But that's the reaction that we usually see when they hear black people discussing what the problems are. And so they call, well, you're racist. No, dear, we're telling you history. History.
and
It's
that's
just as bad when I see British people talk about how bad other cultures are. Well, wait a minute. You all are documented as the world's most prolific colonizers. But you're talking about how bad that country is, this country is. It all started with England.
yes.
You
That's
all
why I
are the
say
experts at it.
that's
And
why I say
raiding,
I say like I only understand, okay, because he understands blackness basically. Like I say, when you accept blackness, it's a feeling, and it can come from any part of the aspect. But you have to have an understanding of history to have that connection. When I see black Brits, sometimes I'm like, they're British first, not black. And I don't understand, but I do understand because if those black Brits really delved into their history of
Birdie, do you
colonization,
know why that is? Let me explain it to you. They were sold a scam and they bought it. They were
Yes.
sold a scam
Yes.
and they bought it. They were sold, oh, you're British. You were born here. You were brought up here. Therefore, you're one of us. Realizing that was a scam, that they were sold. And that is why so many of them have issues, identity issues. They were sold a scam. And that's what it was, basically.
It's just I think we were having this conversation like long time ago when I was just talking about the stats and stuff, and just talking about it's just like like in the UK they're trying to push this agenda. For example, people that are coming over on boats before Brexit. Let's get this straight. Nobody was coming here on boats. Okay, they were fear mongered by our politicians to vote to come out of the EU.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know where. I don't know where England thought they were going. I think they were trying to go back to rule Britannia days, and really and truly, they're not ruling shit anymore. What's it called again? Sorry, my language. Um, 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 they're not ruling anything whatsoever. This country doesn't make anything, so I don't know where it thought it was going. We're not like Russia. We're not like America. We're not like Europe. We are trade. We are known for trade. We're known for banking and good laws, trade, and unfortunately money laundering. That's what this country is known for, and Jimmy Saviles. But other than that, I don't know where it thought it was going. I really don't know. And they literally, these people have been sold a lie. Oh, they're coming in taking our jobs. They're coming in taking the job. You know what I mean? They're coming in taking jobs. It's all a lie. And also, even if I was to have a mentality of a racist person, even though I don't, right? They've messed up their whole entire situation because they've made it a lot more harder for white Europeans to come in and breed up their white women. So they're going to have more mixed race people coming into the country, and it's done the opposite. That's how dumb these racist people are. It's just they're so dumb. So dumb.
Can I say something? Because I was just passing the page.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Anita, wait 1 minute. We've got Miranda in front of you, my dear. We go by turn here,
No
okay?
problem. No
No
problem. No
worries.
problem.
Give us a minute. Miranda, darling, how are you? You good? Miranda, are you with us?
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yes, can
You
you hear me?
unmuted yourself. How are
Okay.
you?
I'm doing good. I am still at work, but hey Birdie. Birdie, I agree with everything you said earlier. And I joined I'm doing a really old girl here at work, and so that's why I haven't been typing and stuff. But I had to come up when I seen where Rachel was going and everything, because that is why I say that's why like that. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to all the Squadis that donated, and even if you didn't donate, and even if you shared it and everything, because I understand that we hit the goal set for the fundraiser. So a big round of applause to everybody out there who did that. That is, you show up and you do good. And so I just want to say, in regards to, is she had, and I clocked it, I'm getting better at clocking it, y'all, but I clocked it kind of right away, that, she, even though she doesn't think that she engages in racism and everything, I talk to so many people who don't think that they align themselves with white narcissism and white supremacy. And I'm telling you, the more and more I think about it, and the more and more I use the term white narcissism, it's an apt description, because as she was talking, I could hear the self-centeredness of what she was saying. And I recognized it and everything. And I just, in this day and age, especially given the political climate that the world globally we're in, and it doesn't matter if it's the 1% that's trying to pit everybody against each other, because it doesn't matter, even though we know that it's a divide and conquer technique. And I'm going to say it again, we cannot, and I say we, I'm talking about white people, or anybody who aligns themselves with white narcissism, white supremacy, and patriarchy, we cannot afford not to talk about it, because if we don't talk about it, if we don't address it, it's just a festering wound that we do keep on festering and keep on festering. So I think one of the biggest things, especially because, again, white narcissism and if you engage in white supremacy, you will always fall back to comfort. You will always, even, I don't care how much of a deconstruction journey you've been on or anything like that, if you don't stay on top of it, is what I'm going to say. You will catch yourself backsliding into being quiet, not talking about racism, not talk about patriarchy, not talk about anything that in your mind rocks the boat. Because the boat is already rocking for other folks. It's not fair that you're all in the same sea and you got, half of the boat's rocking and the other half just calm as can be, sitting there drinking tea and having a party, when you have other people that are in shark-infested waters in the middle of a damn hurricane. That just, and it's like you can see them. And all you have to do is take out your paddle and row over there and say, look, let me tow you back over here. We're all in it together. And they want us not to be talking about this stuff. She said that they just want to keep us divided and all of that. They keep us divided by not fucking talking about this stuff. And then she was bringing up Miss Lilibet and her birthday and everything, and she was trying to pretend like she was confused and everything. Miss Lilibet is a biracial woman, and she said that she was a biracial woman, and I'm not going to question that, but we have had people up on this panel before where they have lied about their heritage and flat out lied about the race. But I'm not even going to go there. But she said that we should not be talking about this. That it is, why are we talking about this if the subject is Miss Lily? Miss Lily is a biracial child from a mom who had a whole country's media aimed at her, wanting her to off herself and wanting the biracial children of hers to disappear. So how in the hell do you support a biracial child if you cannot even talk about the complexities of racism in hopes of making her future better? Because the only way the future is going to get better is if, and I'm not directing this at any person of color and any black person, but if you engage in white supremacy and patriarchy and systematic racism, and or if you're white, you're automatically engaged in it. It is your responsibility, it is your responsibility to be actively anti-racist. You can't just go along to get along. You gotta shit or get off the pot, because you can't be straddling the fence anymore. Because people's lives are on the line. Little black boys are getting shot in the street. So this can no longer be up for discussion that it's just we got to sweep it under the rug. Because sweeping it under the rug is what fucking got us here. And so to Rachel, that is my submission as to why we are engaging in this conversation. Because we're being bold, we're being brave, and we're trying to show up and fucking do good. And showing up and doing good is the motto of Archwell. It's the motto of Princess Meghan and Prince Harry, that had to flee their country because of fucking racism. So how can we address how can we make the world better so that no other princess has to go through what Miss Meghan went through, and so that no other child has to go through what potentially could have happened to Lilibet, to Archie, and to any other child on the face of the earth. That's my submission.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Miranda. Well said. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hi, Anita. How are you?
Good. Just a minute.
Anita, you've been here before, right?
I've listened, but I haven't.
Oh, I'm getting you mixed up. I'm sorry, my darling. I'm getting mixed up with another lady who looks like you, another beautiful black lady. She's American. She
Okay, well,
looks
I'm
like
very
you.
English. I'm very
Yeah,
English.
I can hear your accent. That's why I kind of
I
came back
was
to me.
just, I was just passing by. 'Cause I was just like flicking through, and I heard the conversation with someone. I'm not sure what the context was, but they were saying that the English people are what English first and then black after, and it was something about
British first. I think it was Birdie that said that
British
some
first,
of them are British
black.
first, black
She said
second.
some. Okay, because I just wanted to, I didn't understand the context of that. My experience in England hasn't been that at all. Maybe growing up at school and stuff, but yeah, for a period of time, because my parents didn't really tell me anything about racism. They would have come over just after the Windrush. They were in transport and what was it? And the NHS. Oh, hospitals at the time, and they suffered or experienced what they experienced, but they made life work because they had their community of friends, whether they came over on the plane together or they met up and knew people from the Caribbean first, and then they established their friendship groups and whatever, and the friendship groups grew, and it wasn't just Caribbean people. It would have been Asians, it would have been English people, and stuff like that. So it is when I actually, because I did primary, secondary, and some tertiary, it's when I went into the world of work that racism hit me, and I realized it's not English first and black after. You're always black. And then I think that would have influenced me then to come to the Caribbean and see what the experience was like here. But then you find that you may have found England, even though you're born there, to have some hostility towards you, or there may be some underlying bias. It's covert. You don't get along as quickly as others in some instances, or cases where I've had job interviews, and when I get into the job, the white guys who I'm sitting with, they would have had 2 interviews, and I may have had 4 before I've gotten to my job. Where there's no difference between between us, but I've had 4 interviews and they've had 2. So they made sure that this black girl was offering or could do what she did, or probably do even more than what was required on the job. But then you have the experience then of going back to the Caribbean and seeing what that's like. And then you find you've got the reverse situation. You're in an environment and you're amongst your people that look like you. They may not sound like you, but it's another thing because you have to integrate, because then you are not from there. You have to learn that way again. You have to learn the norms, learn the values, and you've got to hopefully try to be assimilated into the society. So it's tough for black people who are born in the UK or anywhere, I guess, to be accepted in the country that you're born in, and then to be accepted in the country that your heritage is from. That's all I wanted to say, because I'm not sure what the context it was, because I know you're speaking about Meghan and Harry and stuff like that. But yeah, that was just because I was just picking up on what the lady said about black first and British after.
Yeah, I had said that actually because like William was up there dapping all of those black men up, okay? And if you know the history of the UK and the royal family and the way they're treating minorities, okay, to fall at their feet, so to speak, or just cooning out, so to speak, okay, about these individuals who has hurt a black woman, okay. That's what I mean. I'm not saying that they're all like, because like UK is such a melting pot, so I can't really say all that everyone feels that way. But when you put it out there, a lot of black people hate themselves because they've been programmed into that, and a lot of British black tend to be British first and black second, because when you're black, you understand that you are black first. When they see me, they see a black woman. They don't say that woman is black. They say black woman. That's who they see first. That's where all the assumption is about blackness, whether they know you or not. So that's all I'm saying, that a lot of black people don't recognize their blackness. It's like when immigrants come over to the U.S., okay, and they've been told these stories about the black people here. They're told the story of criminals, okay, baby mamas, thugs, okay. Yes, and they might even be told there's a few good ones out there, but the primary story is that those are movies that they show them, all of that. That's what they have said themselves. That's not me repeating something that I made up. They said that themselves, that's what they're being taught, to view black Americans specifically. Okay, just no more than when we was talking about Bonnie a while ago, how they put out the perception of how Africa is just so poor and that everybody running around in huts. It's because that's the image they wanted to portray as black people. Okay, that you wouldn't think that there was wealthy black people out there, intelligent people out there with degrees, all of that. It's that image. And so if black Brits and other people from diaspora buy into that, that's not recognizing your blackness. Because if you're black in the UK, you have a history. Okay, your own diaspora has a history. They're just good at destroying the history. But all these places that you come from have a history. And everything that's wrong in this world leads back to the UK and colonization.
Thanks, Birdie. And thank you, Anita, for your submission. I appreciate that. Hello, Delilah. How are you? Good evening.
Hey everyone, how's everybody?
Doing well, thank you. Good to have you.
Thanks. I've been in and out. I was on another pod. They were doing something for Lily, and I just came in here and I heard some of the conversation, and I was like, how did it get derailed to this? Because I'm like, this is about a kid, and that's all it should have been about. And I was a little confused because the reality is, racism is, I saw something on TikTok today, and I really do believe it. Racism is a mental disorder. It is a chemical imbalance in white people who feel like that it's almost like an addiction. Almost like if you are addicted, the lady described it as being addicted to an opioid or a hard narcotic. And we are the drug that they keep going to, who are constantly trying to get that fiend, like how they say, get that hit. I've never taken drugs, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I know when you're fiending something, you always got to try to get it and get it and get it. And to me, that's what racism is. It is so, and it's hardcore. They need to almost go through a detox rehab thing to get out of it, because for anybody to complain about a 5-year-old, it makes no sense. Now, do I care about all these things people are saying? Not really. I really don't. But they have to realize that there's a serious issue with you if you have a problem with the skin color, no matter what shade of that skin color of a person who is of African descent. that you go into this fiend like addiction every time you see something and get upset if the person of the from the African diaspora is succeeding, is well educated, is wealthier than you, if is doing anything slightly better than you lose it. Again, that's a attitude of a crackhead. Sorry, that's the nicest way I can say it, but that's the crackhead behavior, because you're fiending to get what they want, and you're willing to steal it. What do crackheads do? Steal to get what they get that fix. Crackheads do, they lie to get that fix, pretend like they have no difference, like they don't know what's going on. They do anything to get that fix, and that's what racism is. It is like a crack addict of desire to get a fix, to hate on somebody unnecessarily. And there's no amount of rehab in the world that can be put in for every person, regardless of where they are, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever they are, I'm talking about level of income, because this racism that they have, and it's not just a whitey thing. It because they shared the little rock of racism with other nationalities that don't look exactly like Black people. And by sharing it, they too have that fiend or have that addiction, not as aggressively as theirs, but they try to be a little bit low key. They try to be a closet crackhead. Okay, call it, that's what race, I'm gonna call it, closet crackhead racist. And they do little things like the one where I saw about this Natasha doll.
Yeah, I've
It's,
seen it too.
and so
Disgusting.
yes, it is disgusting. And every nationality that does not look like me reflects it, and even the ones that look like me reflect it, because they buy into that, again, that little rock of crack called racism. They buy into that idea that they can do this. Again, it's an addiction that needs to be broken, but they cannot fix it with the people that's currently running things, because they are just as toxic and just as fiending for that racism as the ones who promoted the most, the one who created the hatred from the beginning. And the more they keep doing it, the more any little things, like I said, she's a 5-year-old. What is the big deal? Leave this child alone. And yes, the reason that people are acknowledging her birth is because they realize what her mother went through to have her. Really, what her mother went through to have her and her brother. So yes, it's a special moment, because she could have not survived it. I've been through miscarriages twice. I know what it's like to lose a child, not from that kind of stress, but because of other things. But she was under a vicious attack by people, because they're fiending for racism, and they will not admit it, because they're, again, closeted racist, upfront racist, whatever you want to call it. Racist is a racist, and you cannot deprogram that by just saying that. You can't easily just deprogram it. And if with the way this society is, they're not trying to encourage that deprogramming. They're trying to encourage to keep fiending for it. Actually, come out the closet and do a full line of racism. Just do lines of it, so they can stay high off that racism all the time. Because it's a sad situation when you cannot even acknowledge the child's birth, or just acknowledge a child's accomplishment, or anything about a child, without showing that your crack addiction is taking over your mentality, and you're working in the public, and and I say this in the nicest way. That racism, that rock that they smoke all the time, they've been smoking for thousands of years, is going to be their own self-destruction, because we can see it in this country, how that crack. Because Birdie, tell me we're not living in a crackhead society right now.
Yep.
The way
You are.
the way people are,
They
people
fiend.
are acting, they're literally fiending like drug addicts. They are druggies on this racism. It's a real addiction. is a real thing, and and trying to help somebody who's feeling and knowing they're going to rob me next. I'm not doing it, and I'm not going to let them. I'm going to protect myself, and I'm going to protect little people around me who are innocent, because they should not have to learn it. And probably protect their children if you could, so they don't have to learn how to, so they don't get told how to do those lines of racism. And that's I'm going to call it from now on. It's a drug. It's a serious drug. It's a drug that there is no cure, and they need to get a can of Narcan to help them. And every time they get it to act, if they had a can of Narcan every time I had a racist person, I'll be having them get them out of their convulsions, because it's winding up going to unalive themselves because of their hatred. Because we already seen it hurting them, because we got examples of somebody's having heart attacks, other people falling, other people doing little things happening to them, all because they hit that line of racism. They snorted it hard. And now because they snorted it so hard, they cannot function anymore. They literally cannot. Tell me they can function without it. Because when they try to stop, they gotta go back. They start shaking, they jittering, they start sweating. I gotta do the line of racism again. I gotta do the line of racism again. Every single day. Every day. And you should, and it's a sad state of mind when that's the only thing that you have going, to bother to come on this line when people are just enjoying themselves, talking about a little girl, seeing how happy she is with her parents, and you came in with that line of racism, just all the white, all that chalk. That's why you got all that white stuff on your nose. You smoked that racism, and you acting a fool. But anyway, I'm sit back and listen, be quiet.
No, very well said. Okay, it is a drug. Okay,
Thanks,
and
Joanna.
just like when you were talking about that down, that there